I'm envisioning something that I call poetic justice. And I've created certain poems that I basically read aloud on YouTube. One's called Armageddon, one's called The Apocalypse, and I have one called Heaven on Earth. And I don't know what the future holds for me, but it's possible that after I make this video, I could do more poems, do more poetry, and make some more poems. But they're basically about the end of the world. At least Armageddon and the Apocalypse is about the end of the world. And they relate to the book of Revelation in the King James Version of the Bible, which I listened to on audiobook last night. And I discovered that Revelation is fascinating. And it's a fascinating look at what happens at the end of everything. And I took it to give meaning to the revelation that the end of the world, or the apocalypse, or Armageddon, was coming soon. And I'm not certain if that's really true. I don't know for sure that the end of the world is really before us in present time. There could be many years to come before we experience Armageddon or the apocalypse. And that's what we need to keep in mind, that everything doesn't just end all at once. Even with Revelation, there's a series of different scenes to take place and different steps that are going to occur in Revelation. And also, there could be some time before the book of Revelation comes into play and certain acts actually take place on earth. And I realized that what happens at the end of the world that's noted in Revelation, that Revelation is kind of metaphoric and not necessarily literal. It's not necessarily of a literal nature, and that certain things could be spoken figuratively in Revelation, in the book of Revelation, and that it might not happen exactly, specifically like they say, that there may be certain things that occur that could be going on right now, for all we know, in the United States of America. And that's something that we have to take into account, that it's possible that we're dealing with the book of Revelation in present time, currently. And the timing and everything that takes place could go on for many years, could go on for a long time, and things may not happen exactly the way the scriptures report them to happen, because it's like a big metaphor and many different metaphors in the book of Revelation. It's not necessarily a literal act that's occurring or a literal series of acts that are occurring in present day. It could be very figurative and not in the literal sense. And that would mean that anything could be occurring from the book of Revelation right now that specifically could be certain things having to do with everything that's going on in the country right now. Because there's a lot of evil that lurks in the country right now. And there's a lot that's going on that just is some sort of genocide towards the human race, really. And that seems to be apparent in the United States right now and on Earth. In many countries, there seems to be a genocide of the human race occurring. And it's not just subject to one race. That's why I say the human race. It's mankind that seems to be threatened by mortality, if you will. And that's of every danger to man as we know it on earth today. And we have to deal with the torment and the pain and suffering and agony of every behavior that is expressed by demonic forces throughout the land. And that's what people don't always realize, is that these people that do heinous crimes are evil and are possessed by the devil, or could be possessed by the devil. And I think they are, and I think they're evil. And it takes man sometimes to intervene with God in mind and with God on the tongue, speaking words of goodness, to intervene with demonic possession of an individual. And it takes loving people and caring about people and wanting the best for society. And until we're all at peace and peaceful and caring and loving toward each other, there will be no rest for the weary and no peace for anyone. And danger will lurk, and hatred will spill all over the counter of time and all over the world, people will cry out in agony and feel the pain and suffering of day-to-day torment from the forces of evil that lurk in every community, in every land, all across the globe.